Hey guys, Jim here, Johnson's Home and Garden. March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. And what's that meal we all love to have? Corned beef and cabbage. So you can go and buy an already corned beef brisket, but it's a lot of weird preservatives and stuff. We like to make our own. So a corned beef actually has no corn in it, which is funny. It's called corned beef because back when they used to salt and preserve the meat, the salt was big chunks of salt, and they called it salt corns. So that's where the corned beef comes from. Corned beef typically is a brisket. You can do a flat like what we're gonna do here, or you can even, if you want, you can even do a full packer brisket. We got these ones from Sean's Meats here in Maple Valley. They're Painted Hills beef. So we got to make a brine. Very simple brine. There's several recipes out there. Feel free to do what you want. We're going to do ours. First, you start with maybe a quart of water. It doesn't really have to boil, but it does need to be warm because you need to dissolve that salt and sugar before you bag it in with the brine. So to start out, we're going to do 1 tablespoon of allspice berries, 1 tablespoon of yellow or brown mustard seed, a tablespoon of peppercorns. We have tuxedo here, peppercorns. 2 tablespoons of some fresh ginger. Tablespoon of whole cloves, tablespoon of red pepper flakes, 4 tablespoons of pink curing salt. If you have a hard time finding curing salt, we now carry it here at Johnson's Home and Garden in our spice department. Half a cup of brown sugar. And a cup and a half of kosher sea salt. So you just want to keep stirring that. You do want to trim the fat off of the bottom of your brisket before you brine it. And also your fat cap, you want to trim it down to where there's only about 1/4 inch of a fat cap. Pretty strong. It smells really good. I wish you could smell it. All right, we stirred our brine until the salts and the sugar had dissolved. One thing I forgot to mention, I put in after we stopped filming, was I did 6 crushed bay leaves and some cinnamon sticks for a great flavor. So once that salt and sugar dissolves in that quart of water, you then take it off the stove. You need to cool it, but you're also going to need more water. So if you put ice in it, that hot water or even cool water, you need to get your brine room temperature or hopefully a little bit below. You don't want to pour hot or warm water on your uncooked, well, right at this point it's just a brisket. So I've already mixed in that water. Our brine is good. You then need a container for to brine your brisket in to make corned beef. Some people will just do in a plastic container, pour the brine over. You need to make sure that it stays submerged, so they'll put like plates on it or whatever, because it is gonna need to brine 7 to 10 days before we go to the next step. Here at Johnson's, we like to brine turkeys, and so we've been using these large Ziploc bags, which we sell here. This is a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. Fits my brisket flat really nice. It's easy to push the air out and seal it up to then go put it in my refrigerator. So the brisket's in there. forewarning, I've never been good at Ziploc bags. The pink and blue make purple, not good at it. There is our, I'll lay it flat better before I put it in the refrigerator. There is our brining corned beef brisket. I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 7 days. And the next video, we're gonna take that brisket out and we're gonna make corned beef and cabbage. Thank you.